please.
Dr. Luna Najera.
Here.
Mr. Del Palacio. Mr. Ortega Romero.
Here.
Mr. Chapman.
Here.
And Ms. Sun.
Here. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board Member Miguel Ortega, if you could please make the land acknowledgement statement.
The Tolleson Union High School District serves 14,000 students with 15 indigenous communities, represented 12 of our 7 high schools. The Tolleson Union High School District Governing Board would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Acamel, Odom, and Pequash peoples, and pay our respect to their elders past, present, and emerging. We recognize their enduring connection to this land, their rich culture and language, and the invaluable contributions they have made and continue to make in our community. As we gather today for the Tolleson Union High School District Governing Board meeting, let us remember the significance of these lands and honor the legacy of the original stewards of this territory.
Thank you, Member Miguel Ortega. And now we will approve the regular agenda. Is there a motion?
So,
Second? I second. Roll call, please.
Dr. Luna Najera.
No.
Mr. Del Palacio.
yes.
Mr. Ortega Romero.
Yes.
Mr. Chapman.
Yes.
Ms. Sun.
Yes. Now we'll be doing the summary of our current events. Superintendent Guys, please take it away.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board. This week I'd like to report on several performing and visual arts events, starting with the annual jury art exhibition at Australia Mountain Community College that happened last Wednesday. This event has been 15 years in the making and shows off the very talented work of our students. The exhibition, which includes photography, drawing, painting, and ceramics, is open to the public through Thursday. It's also theater season. La Jolla, Tolleson Union, and Westview have shows beginning this week. La Jolla's opening night of the Whodunit play, Clue Jr., is tonight. They will have performances Wednesday through Friday as well. Tolleson and Westview open musicals Thursday through Saturday. Tolleson's spring musical is Legally Blonde Jr., and Westview's is Beetlejuice Jr. Singing in the Rain opens at Copper Canyon next week, along with Hadestown at West Point. Sarah Linda performs the play Sweet Surrender later in April, and the tickets for these events are available through GoFan. At Copper Canyon, teacher Samantha Ness and student Adon Ramos were selected for the prestigious Albert H. Small Normandy Institute's 2025 class, an immersive program that delves into D-Day and World War II history. They are currently taking online Zoom classes from George Washington University, and this summer will travel to Washington, D.C. and also France to participate in lectures and field trips. And students at Sierra Linda High School had an opportunity to learn more about civil rights and the work of Cesar Chavez when his grandson, Andres Chavez, presented during an assembly. Andres is the executive director of the National Chavez Center, which promotes and preserves his grandfather's legacy. He showed the students photos from Chavez's life, including where he grew up, his family, and his participation in civil rights marches and events. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the Long Grape Strike, which lasted 5 years and was successful in helping workers receive better pay and working conditions. And also this past Saturday, we received an award from AZ K-12 Center for our work with MDC teachers and recognizing National Board Certified teachers. So They honored us along with 8 other school districts across Arizona for their work on MVCT. And that's just some of my updates since the last time we met.
Thank you, Superintendent Guys, for your update. And now we'll move to the governing board update. Member Dr. Elda Nahara, do you have any updates?
No, but it's Elda Luna, not Elda.
My apologies, my dyslexic is the best of me. Member Devin de Blasio.
No, this is thank you.
Member Miguel Ortega.
Not at this time.
Vice President Chapman.
Yeah, thank you. My apologies for not being there this evening. Yeah, just small thing to touch on the K-12 Center. It was great being out there that evening, celebrating with all the teachers across the state, receiving that award on behalf of the district. It just shows that we have a lot more work to do, and we have a ton of folks that are in the pipeline for their national board certification. So hopefully not only our district, but more and more of our teachers continue to get recognized for their work. But other than that, thank you all.
All right, thank you, Vice President Chapman. And no updates, so we'll move to agenda item B3, clarification of previously discussed item, and I will make a statement. Before we move to our next item on the agenda, I want to take a few minutes to address what happened at our last meeting and set the record straight for both the board and the public. At the meeting, a board member interrupted several members and disrupted the flow of discussion multiple times. As a board, we value open conversation, but it has to happen in an orderly and respectful way. When the meeting started to break down, I had no choice but to gavel and bring it back to order. That's not something I take lightly, and I know it made things uncomfortable. But we can't do our jobs if we're constantly talking over each other or ignoring the process. What makes this more concerning is that a member knows exactly how our meetings are supposed to run. Being a former board president, this wasn't a misunderstanding. This member knowingly chose to ignore board procedures, and that's a problem. Let's clear something up right now. Tolleson Union High School District does not use Robert's Rules of Order. We follow our own policies. Policies that are in line with Arizona's open meeting law. Our legal counsel has confirmed this, and to be clear, no other school district in the entire state of Arizona, over 200 school districts, uses Robert's rules either. It's not how school boards in our state operate. Our voting policy, according to BDF, is very clear. Votes must be ayes, nays, or abstain. There's no such thing as passing on the vote in our system. Any claim to the contrary is simply wrong. There were also false statements made at that meeting, including the claim that we spent $1.5 million this year on a new high school design. That is not accurate. That amount includes multiple projects with ADM, not just the high school. Also, we're not in breach of contract. Our contract allows us to cancel for convenience, and that's exactly what we did, by the book. When false claims are made from the dais, it creates confusion, it wastes time, and it opens us up to unnecessary risks, legal fees, staff burnt out, and public distrust. And because we are a board, we all share that liability when one person goes rogue. Even more serious, some public comments refer to things that were only discussed in executive session. That space is legally protected for a reason. It's where we talk about student matter under FERPA law and receive confidential legal advice. Talking about these things publicly isn't just inappropriate. It could be a violation of state or federal law. Because of that, we're seriously considering launching a formal investigation into this matter. We have to protect student privacy, follow the law, and maintain trust in this board. We'll have more updates on this at our next meeting. At the end of the day, we're here to serve our students, families, and staff. We can disagree, and we will. But we have to do it with honesty, professionalism, and respect. This board is committed to following our policies and protecting the integrity of the work we've been entrusted to do. Thank you.
President Sun,
We will be moving
I am
forward to
requesting-
the agenda.
I am requesting
With
to speak
the,
to the district's legal
option
counsel for clarification
items.
on the statements that you made, because they seem to be misleading.
We will be now switching to agenda item D, to the public
President Sun.
participation. Guidelines to the public participation. We
President
will be
Sun.
moving on. If you have any comments, please share them after the meeting. But we will be moving on. Thank you.
Well, for the record, what you just read is not accurate. And unless you bring legal counsel out here to speak with me personally, you are also in violation of your duty. And it's not my fault that you don't know how to run a meeting and you constantly have to be asking people to direct you. It appears to be that you're breaking the open meeting law.
Superintendent, guys, if you could share with us with the legal counsel advice that I just read off and that this is vetted.
Yes, President Sun, we can actually pull up policy BEDF at your request, so everybody can read in there how it only says ayes, nays, and abstentions, the way you
That's
stated.
not what I'm arguing about.
And we have had our chief financial officer go back and check
That's
the
not what I'm
records
arguing
and
about,
ADMs.
Superintendent
And
Geis.
ADM's total expenditures for this year is 1.5 million over 12 projects, not for the one in particular project as it was mentioned, so yes, we have already.
Again, on the record, I request that I be allowed to speak to legal
We
counsel
are
for the
moving
district.
on. Member Dr. Luna, please respect the procedures.
Well, when
You
you
cannot be
blindside me,
interrupting
when
the
you
meeting.
blindside
that-
me with the false
We
statement,
call
I
for
have the
recess.
right
Thank
to
you.
defend myself.
The benefits of unified sports are social participation and the exposure to new activities, things that they might not have had otherwise had opportunities to participate in.
When we build our equipment and our kids who can't typically participate are able to do something independently, the joy that they get from doing that activity for the first time is incredible.
I didn't really like playing in front of people in the beginning because I thought I wasn't good at it. And then once I got used to playing in front of people, I got a little bit out of my shell. And now I'm comfortable playing with other people.
I learned that I need to be confident.
Confident.
Oh, you want to be more confident?
Yeah.
You learn to be more confident?
Special Olympics has had such an impact on the Arizona community as a whole because we are really focused on community for all. It doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in, what is your disability. We are really here for everybody, making life happen for everybody, making fun happen for everybody, because sports are fun.
We've been playing like different kind of sports like volleyball, and we played this one game. It's called that. We wear these like uniforms and stuff like that. Like whoever had the ball, you stop, and we drove it to our teammate. Now we just actually legit play badminton day. We started train super hard that day.
Funnest, most happiest people I've ever seen in my life. It's just every day is just they have that positivity that can spread everywhere, like it's contagious.
Unified Sports benefits students with and without disabilities in just so many ways. You see them come into the class at the beginning of the year and they're very shy, not very aware of how to act or behave, and then you just see these relationships blossom and then grow, and they truly do become like a team, and they're super close, super tight, and our students really do show really great examples of this throughout competitions, is really pushing, supporting those.
We have policy BDG concerning school attorney. Ordinarily, the district will use services of the county attorney. However, when the board deems it to be in the best interest of the district, the board may retain private counsel and services. Compensation and purpose should be determined at the time of employment to private counsel. The superintendent and the president of the board or the board's designee shall be designated as the representatives of the district who may confer with council. To date, the board has not clarified any other designee.
And I'm asking that she designate me to speak to legal counsel on the accusations that you're making.
Member Dr. Luna, we are going to move forward with the agenda. We can address this.
It's Dr. Luna Nakira.
Okay, Dr. Luna, we are going to move forward. Now we're going to skip C and we'll come back and circle back, but we'll move to agenda item D for public participation. And before we have our first speaker come forward, I'd like to just make some disclaimer for public comments. All regular and special meetings of the board shall be open to the public. The board invites the viewpoints of citizens throughout the district and considers a responsible presentation of these viewpoints vital to the efficient operation of the district. The board also recognizes its responsibility for the proper governance of the schools and therefore the need to conduct its business in an orderly and efficient manner. Any individual desiring to address the board shall complete a form request to address the board and give that form to the governing board executive assistant Lubita Goodman prior to the start of the board meeting. This is a time for the public to comment. Governing board members are not permitted to discuss or take legal action or matters raised during the open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. However, the law permits governing board members to do the following at the conclusion of the open call to the public. A, respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the governing board. B, ask staff to review a matter. C, ask that matter be put on the future agenda in order to facilitate accomplishing the business of the district in a timely manner. A time limit of 1 minute will be imposed for each individual or group address the board. When you approach the podium, please state your name for the record. And my apologies for having 1 minute limitation. Usually when we have more than 10 or so, we have to limit to adjust for the time. Otherwise, we'll be here until midnight. So with that said, our first speaker, please come to the podium when your name is called, will be Jen Barnett.
Good evening, President Sun, Vice President Chapman, Superintendent Kayas, and board members. My name is Jen Barnett, and I'm the Vice President of the Tolleson Union Education Association, and I would like to celebrate the actions our organization is taking to advocate for our public schools and our students. We're working with a combination of walk-ins and card paintings to demonstrate why public education matters while also being cognizant of our testing days and responsibilities. We are building solidarity with our community, and we thank those of you that have come out to join us in our solidarity. We will be out front bright and early tomorrow morning on each site in solidarity with our students, our community, and our fellow educators. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Our next speaker from the public will be Rachel Barnett. Let's get the Barnetts out the way.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rachel Barnett. I am a Littleton Elementary School District Governing Board member, but I come to you tonight as a parent of 2 recent Tolleson graduates. I just wanted to take a moment to say how grateful I am to this district, to this board, and to everyone who has been involved in the education of my 2 children, and soon to be 4 more, who will be going through, matriculating through Tolleson. The education that my children have received is second to none. There's nowhere that could have been that they would have got a better education or that they would have been better equipped. I'm so proud to say both of my children are currently attending college and following their dreams. I have absolutely no doubt that they are afforded this opportunity because of many of the people in this room. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel Barnett. Thank you for your service in serving on the Littleton Elementary School board. It's actually one of our feeder schools, so thank you. Our next speaker will be my favorite, Diane Amara.
Good evening, members of the board. I am Diana Morrow, a parent of a student who attends Tolleson High School, and my family has been an integral part of this community for 100 years. As I stand here today, President Trump is actively working to dismantle the Department of Education. While this district does not solely rely on funds directly from the federal government, we do receive funds in the form of grants that significantly support lots of programs, including school resource officers. During this time of uncertainty, other school districts are communicating with their staff, students, and community to ensure them of their mission to provide support and education. Meanwhile, Mr. Calles, who lacks proper credentials to even act as a superintendent, returned from spring break with a pep in his step for new district offices in Avondale. Fiscal responsibility would dictate that we freeze extra spending, particularly the construction of any and all non-student facilities. However, clearly Mr. Calles is more concerned with bleeding the accounts than he is supporting the community. Additionally, a couple of months ago when I entered its arena, the community was told that the ISA school district deal was to save the district so they could pay their teachers and staff on that Friday and to keep their doors open for the students. That never happened. I wonder who's benefiting from that, Ms. Sun.
All right, thank you. Our next speaker, Cruz Mendoza, please come to the podium.
Good evening, Madam President, Mr. Chapman, and members of the governing board. I'm here, I am currently the facilities management supervisor, and I have been working for the district for 39 years. And I just received notification on Monday, March 3rd, which my direct supervisor is the one that gave me the notification, that I was a non-renewal for the fiscal year FY 25-26. I asked HR, and HR told me it was a board decision. I asked the board never reached out to me or even gave me an answer. So I just want to say that I have an impeccable personnel record. I have done nothing wrong, and I'm in awe what merits this decision. I have committed to this district, and I will continue until June 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza. Our next speaker will be Mr. Prado. Please come to the podium.
Good evening, members of the governing board. I stand before you as Assistant Principal of Discipline at Tolleson Union High School and a proud 2011 graduate of University High School. I take my job here in this district very seriously, and last semester I filed a complaint against the superintendent, which was investigated by Ernie Calderon and his law firm. And then I found out this semester that I'm now being non-renewed. And this was shocking to me, and I'm asking you to look into this matter. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Prado. Our next speaker, Sydney Wright, please come to the podium.
Good evening, President Sun, Vice President Chapman, Superintendent Calles, and members of the board. My name is Sydney Wright, and I am a teacher at University High School. This past week, alongside NEA and AFT, schools nationwide held walk-ins in support of public education. In a time where the fate of public schools and their federal funding is uncertain, being vocal about the necessity of public education is important. I would like to thank Superintendent Calles and the governing board of their support of our local walk-ins. We saw Mr. Chapman, Mr. Del Palacio, Mr. Ortega Romero, and Superintendent Calles bright and early Thursday morning alongside our school staff across the district. Thank you for supporting our community, and thank you for standing up for public education.
Thank you, Sydney Wright. I would have participated if I didn't have like emergency at the district. I'm glad that you felt the support. Our next speaker will be Marcus Siniceros.
evening. My name is Marcus Cenaceros. I am the proud Vice President of Los Alamitos School District Governing Board, which is a feeder district in Tolleson Union, and also a proud graduate of West Point High School, Go Dragons. Also have a brother who will be graduating from La Jolla in May this year. And the two more will be joining in a couple of years. I just want to just commend the work that the Governing Board has done over the last months. Tolleson Union, from my perspective as a board member, has moved in a very, very strong, financially suited direction, and will continue to move in a student-focused, teacher-focused direction. They have led some of the most comprehensive initiatives which in my district we could never imagine them doing, because we don't have the credibility, nor do we have the funds to do it. So I want to just commend the work that the board has done, and to commend you to continue to move forward to do what's right for students.
Thank you, Mr. Cenaceros. Next speaker will be Melissa Grimshed.
Good evening, President Sun, Vice President Chapman, Superintendent Caius, members of the board. My name is Melissa Grimshed. I'm the president of the Tolleson Union Education Association. I'm up here once again to ask that you, as elected officials, help advocate for action in the Arizona legislature. To give you an idea what it feels like to be a teacher in public schools right now, especially Arizona public schools, it seems like every single day we are attacked from all sides. Every single day it seems like there's a new thing that someone is going to get upset about the fact that is in our Arizona state standards and take it out on teachers. The latest one is HB 2867, which we can all agree anti-Semitism in schools is a terrible thing and should not happen. Teachers should be subject to discipline for making comments that would be considered anti-Semitic. However, this bill would allow people to sue teachers directly, as if we didn't have enough reason for teachers to not join the workforce. Please help me in advocating to tell our senators to vote no.
Thank you, Ms. Grimshed. So that will conclude our public comments. And now we will move forward.
President Sun, the law permits that the governing board members respond to criticism made.
Superintendent Guys, can you confirm that with our policies that we are to...
You just read it, President Sun.
Respond to the criticism that was given in the public comments.
Well, you confirm. For the record, I am being asked to vote on decisions that are being made without my input and without all information. I requested information on non-renewals last meeting. Even though in the past this information was given.
President Sun, that does not qualify as a criticism of a governing board member.
So to the members, to the staff that spoke out about not being renewed, I do apologize, but the information was not shared with us. So I voted no on non-renewing you because I don't have the information.
So Member Dr. Luna Nahara, that comment will be addressed in the agenda that is listed before us. So we cannot talk or discuss or give any kind of a comment prior to that section of the agenda. So I respect you to hold your statement until we reach that particular agenda item.
President Sun.
So Superintendent Guys, please remind her once again that we are not to respond with criticism, and that is optional.
Yes, President Sun, a criticism would be a direct criticism of a governing board member. It is not a random statement and taking any other random statements as an opportunity. The specific item in question is an agendized item. The appropriate time to respond to an agendized item is when that item comes up on the agenda. A governing board member can explain their vote, but it should not be done under public participation.
Does anybody else want to pile on and bully me?
I think that, Dr. Luna, you are disrupting the meeting beyond comprehension. This is not the way we are, allowed to do based on statute. And also, we need to be careful on how we proceed with our agenda items. We have to follow the items. And again, you are welcome to elaborate, make your statements, once we get to that agendized, subject matter. But until then, I respectfully to ask you to, withhold your comments until then. It's just, common courtesy for all board members, and I expect all board members to follow. So for any of us to jump in, jump out, that's not allowed. That's just outside of our decorum and civility. So we are now going to move to item D, and we're going to circle back to C for the celebration. We finished D, so now we're going to switch back to section C for the celebrations. Superintendent Guys,
Yes.
please take it away.
Madam President, members of the board, at this time I'd like to bring up our proud principal of University High School, Ms. Vicki Landis, to celebrate University High.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here tonight to present about University High School. So thank you for inviting us. President Sun, Vice President Chapman, members of the board, Superintendent Calles, and Ms. Goodman. So tonight we celebrate, we start off with this slide. This is a gift the district has given to University High School, and we proudly display it on our front gate. And I want to talk about a little bit about each one of those awards that is along the bottom panel. So the first one is, we are an A-rated school. It has been an A-rated school since that started. And remember, University High School started as a program in 2006. We are recognized as one of the best high schools from U.S. News and World Report. We are 10 in the state of Arizona. 8 charters are ahead of us, and we are the only Title I school with a diverse population that is celebrated in the top 10. We are an AP Honor Roll school, and we're also AP Access. So that means that our students are defying odds academically, and that the demographics of the kids who win these awards or achieve this kind of standard are reflective of the demographics of our program. And then finally, we were recognized as a National Blue Ribbon School in the year of 2021. So we're very proud of those things. Thanks. This is an updated slide that the data department has provided us. This is to give you an idea of where our students come from. So we serve 18 different elementary districts. And if you can see up there, you can see that we're pulling from Dysart, Peoria, Glendale, Phoenix Union. We are west of the 303. We're north in Deer Valley, and we are far west Phoenix, and then the south in Levine. And we also have a fabulous staff. None of this could happen without our staff. We've worked hard on our vision and mission and our collective commitments. Just like our district did last year, we went through the process of adopting these procedures as well. And this time, I would like any of the U High staff to please stand up and be recognized. I want to talk a little bit about something unique to University High School is that we have to go out and we recruit because we take kids from all over. We certainly take kids in the Tolleson area, but we take them from all over. So we have 12 partner district visits this year where we go out in the evening. We're invited to come out to promote our school. We've done that. We delivered invitations to our future freshman nights. We went out to schools and handed out invitations and attracted kids that way. This year we had a second annual partner school breakfast where our culinary class came in and cooked for us, and you can see in that bottom left-hand picture, we had a student panel there that was available to answer questions. We offer student-led tours once a month, and so parents come in and schedule tours, and we'll bring them through, and those are led by our leadership team, our leadership class as well. To the right was a visit where we had actually 100 prospective students come in and take a tour. And next month we are hosting an elementary superintendent advisory meeting, partnering with Union and bringing in about 30 of the Union students, and building on their School of Hope and how we align with some of their strategies and their goals as well. We also hosted a Gifted and Talented regional meeting at University High School as well. And I want to brag a little bit about our teachers. We have 14 of our 18 UH teachers attending AP training, covering 22 different courses that we teach. The other 4 are trained in pre-AP. We have 6 UH teachers have been AP readers, covering 7 different courses, which means they are highly skilled in their teaching for from our classes. So they know and understand what kind of the workload as well as the expectations. We have 6 UH teachers, our dual enrollment teachers, and our teachers attend conferences and trainings to continue to grow and learn. I want to talk a little bit about persistence rate. So when you hear persistence rate, we have students when they graduate from high school, they go their freshman year of college. And then persistence rate is how many of them return their sophomore year. We brag at 97% persistence rate. But let's talk a little bit about our university high school persistence rate. So we are an open enrollment school, and we do take students who are below grade level. And so we do a lot of support for these students. Success requires students to manage their time and often make sacrifices in other areas to meet the demands of the workload. However, we want to support the whole child, so we've been evaluating our practices and doing our best to create an environment that allows more students to succeed. And we see these practices paying off. So we've seen a 10% increase in the number of students we retain as sophomores, and we've seen that increase by 18% for their senior year. So we are making gains and still working on that. And how we do some of this is we have individual consultations by our registrar or our counselors for each student that registers with our school. We have multiple parent nights. We have freshman night, math and science, and academic consultation night. We have AP support classes for freshmen who are coming in below grade level. We love flex, and we use that RTI time during the school day to support them. And we are refocusing on the 7 habits. We have Title I tutoring as well as beyond the bell tutoring. So our buses run in our district at 312, 412, and 512, and we're very fortunate to have that. Our grade level teams meet also on our Wednesday afternoons, and they work on a shared calendar where they are charting the amount of homework as well as the amount of assignments that we are giving to students. So with all of that hard work, it's time to celebrate some of their accolades. First of all, this is data from last year, because last year I presented about this time and we didn't have it to share with you. So we have over 800 dual enrollment credits earned, over $10 million in scholarships offered to the class of 2024. 90% of our graduates attend a 4-year institute, and 10% attended a 2-year, and then we had a 97% persistence rate for the class of 2023. And this is new for us this year. We now have a leadership class. So the idea of this was to bring student voice to the campus, more student voice. So our students run our Instagram page. They schedule fun school-wide events with kids every other month, and then every other month we do student celebrations in the PAC. They also we have a new digital board installed, and they are also running that with celebrations and flyers. And we look forward to building their leadership and working even more closely with them next year. This is a video. Unfortunately, it's not going to play. But here, our leadership class put a video together with music, and each one of our students who was a national recognized winner walked through and were celebrated. These students have been accepted into West Mech. It's a very small group of kids, but I want to read to you all the programs that this small group of kids will be involved in. Automotive technology, pharmacy science, water systems, medical foundations, medical assisting, EMT, automation and robotic systems, general construction technology, veterinary science, medical laboratory science, electrical trade, coding, and IT security. Something else we like to celebrate is that we have 25 students earning seals with 27 awards being given, and I have a young lady up there holding up 4, and she's going to stand up in the back because Creole. And I was talking with her the other day, and I said, hey, you're on my slide, and I invited her to come. And she said, did you know that I wasn't fluent in English when I came my freshman year? No, I didn't know that. So huge gains. And her dad works in our IT department. Next, we're celebrate STEP. So the core belief of STEP is that every student who is putting in the hard work to excel in the most challenging courses of their school should receive the focused guidance needed to be successful in college. And so these students apply, and they are accepted, and this is a group of ours, and then they go through conferences and have all kinds of opportunities to be successful and learn more about college. And then for some, there's an opportunity to go to the wilderness. This is actually, the picture to the right is one of our students who have a trip, I believe, to Alaska. So, and they're out there in the wild for 2 to 3 weeks. Just a great opportunity for kids. This year, we're crossing our fingers for our 2 students who are GATE Scholar finalists. The great thing about GATE is that not only does it cover your bachelor, it also covers your master's degree as well. And then we have AP Capstone, and I will be introducing Sydney in a few minutes, and she was up here earlier. She's one of our awesome teachers. That these 7 of Ms. Wright's 14 AP research students will be presenting at Grand Canyon University. All 14 of these students are on track to earn their capstone diploma, passing both AP Seminar and AP Research, while also earning a 3 or more on 4 other tests. One thing I want to point out that Ms. Wright did this year, in the lower right-hand corner, you can see this looks like a wedding invitation. So the kids are working really hard on one research topic, and they have to make this decision and support it. And so what she did is had a ceremony where they married or committed and married to their topic. So it's a super fun idea. The kids enjoyed it. And that's just an example of one of the things that Ms. Wright does in her class to really meet the needs of our kids and make them feel welcome. Civics matter. And we just got done interviewing and selecting 5 more kids for this summer. But these are our students who went to Washington, D.C. They're hanging out with the Arizona Cardinals there. And you know that our district has been very supportive of this program. We also want to share Rania. She wrote an AP research paper entitled Valley Fever Awareness, Knowledge, and Perceptions, a literacy survey of adolescents in Arizona, and was accepted to the Journal of Student Research and has been published. We put a little picture down here in the bottom right-hand corner. She's been to state twice for tennis, and we are crossing our fingers so that she can get there. We hope to see her there this spring. FCCLA, here are state winners. So University High School students are a huge part of Tolleson as well. And so you can see the Tolleson Union High School Culinary Arts, Chef Beltran made a point in highlighting UH and putting in there a lot of our students are officers and win opportunities to go to state and on. So you can see our winners there. And then we had another there's some more winners announced today, so we couldn't get them on the slide. For RoboCrew, you can see in the top right, that is our group of students who they compete in, it's called the First Robotics, and they are seen wearing goldfish, so they are dressed like goldfish. They won a lot of awards for just celebrating, but also for working really hard and competing in robotics. I do want to let you know that we have a world qualifier. There was a contest, and we had a semifinalist and a world qualifier. So in an effort to recognize the leadership and dedication of outstanding secondary school students from First, they came and family sponsored these awards. And we have a student who is a world qualifier and is traveling to Texas soon for that conference. And then last year, along the top, those students went to Worlds. I was just talking to Mr. Hicks about it, about Worlds, and he too thought that meant they went somewhere exciting, but they went to Iowa. It was exciting because it was Midwest and it was tornado season, so they did experience some of that. But they had a great time, and they are with their other students from Poland. So you're paired up with kids from other parts of the world. And then at the bottom, we are competing this year, and we are headed off to state. These students are on the drone competition team, I believe, and then they just competed for LEAP's military infrastructure at ASU, and they each won scholarships for $2,000. 2 years ago, we resurrected the speech and debate. This is an AIA sport, so it is officially a Tolleson sport. We have two university high school teachers who are leading the efforts there, and our students are doing amazing in speech and debate. This year, we started the Olympiad Club, started by Mr. Conkey, and you can see that we are competing, and our students are doing well there as well. And we just want to reinforce that we are Wolverines. So if you look up in the left-hand corner, you can see that we are in the choir, we are cheerleaders, we are in ballet folklorico. If you follow us around, we are in the theater, we are in volleyball, we are in band, boys golf, soccer, girls golf, and mariachi. So we partner with Tolleson High School, and our students get all of the opportunities that all of the Tolleson students get to be a part of such a great community and be a part of a small learning community, as well as be a part of 6A school. At this time, I would like to request that Rebecca join me up here. So this is the best part. And I apologize that our video is not playing, so I will say a few words about you, and I'm super glad we got to celebrate you in front of the students last weekend. We got to see what Mr. Haynes had to say about you. So, Rebecca is a very active person who loves staying busy. She enjoys playing sports, especially volleyball. She is also involved in clubs such as speech and debate and the Grit Guru program, where she works as a tutor for the underclassmen. Outside of the school, she loves spending time with her family, whether it's watching movies or just being together. She also loves drawing, baking, and taking pictures of everything. When it comes to U-High, she did struggle. She's beyond grateful that she did not have to endure these things alone. She loved that the school has the most amazing teachers who is incredibly understanding and always there for the students when they are in need. She also appreciates how small the school is, as it has enabled her to quickly become part of a community full of amazing people. When I came to University High, it was my second year as the principal, and it was our first parent night, and we almost lost Rebecca that first night when I was talking to parents, and she was saying, you know, there's homework, and we miss Rebecca because she's been, you know, having fun with us, and she's doing her homework now, and she's doing all of these things. We had a great group of teachers who supported her, and she led our student assembly on Friday and did such an amazing job, and I've never seen her command the stage with 400 kids, and she did such a good job. And then she's also going to be in our play on opening night's Thursday night, correct? So we're looking forward to see her successes there. So congratulations, Rebecca. And then challenging and rigorous environment at UH, which drives his academic growth and allows him to be surrounded by like-minded, motivated students. The diverse opportunities at UH, whether in STEM clubs or through supportive teachers, have fostered his intellect and his personal development. Beyond the classroom, Brian actively participates in several clubs and activities that align with his passions. As the vice president of the Olympiads Club, he excels in tackling complex math problems and nurturing a competitive yet collaborative atmosphere. He's also a key member of the National STEM Club's drone competition team, where he manages Python programming and contributes to planning meetings. In Project Green, Brian has initiated efforts to establish a compost bin at school, addressing waste management issues and making positive environmental impact. Brian exemplifies academic excellence and embodies the qualities of a UH scholar. Congratulations. And something that UH does a little differently than the other schools is these students are actually juniors. So they're going to come back to so much more next year, and then they'll get to put this on their resume and celebrate and glean all the things that will happen to you next year. Next, I would like to invite our nurse up here, Miss Olivia. She's awesome. I'm going to read what a few people have said. Nurse Tolleson has a heart of gold. She treats each student that walks through her office doors as if they were her own. She's welcoming, caring, compassionate, considerate, and driven. We are lucky to have her in our school. Nurse Olivia is always in a good mood. Wow, you never see that from a nurse. No matter how busy she is, she always finds time to help our students. She's a crucial part of our school. She supports both students and staff. Professional, encouraging, caring, dependable, all-around awesome human being. She's attentive when students are in need, assertive in emergencies, and in situations to ensure student safety. Olivia is remarkably calm and supportive of both students and staff. She remains calm and collected, treating every student with respect and care. Olivia's dedication and professionalism make her an invaluable asset to our school. We are truly fortunate to have her on our team. And at this time, I would like to invite Ms. Wright to come up. Sydney is one of the most hardworking and creative people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Her dedication to guiding her students towards excellence is commendable. I've always been impressed with how innovative she is. She has shown me new strategies to employ in my classroom that I otherwise never would have considered if not for her. One teacher. Another teacher says, Sydney Wright is a model teacher. She pours her heart into serving her students to give them the best education possible. Her classroom is a place where students feel safe to engage their curiosity, and this inspires them to authentically invest in her class. Sydney creates a space for students to explore their thoughts and grow as students and as people. Sydney is an incredible friend, colleague, and mentor for our students. She is truly passionate about the work she does, and there is no one quite as willing to do that whatever it takes to lend a helping hand. She is true, critical friend with analyzing data, a wonderful listener when you need advice, and an innovator that is always willing to try new lessons and strategies to help our students. She pushes me to be a better teacher and person. I will say her room is remarkable. When the kids walk in, there's a board, and she asks them a question every day, and they move something, and she kind of monitors, how they're feeling. She has a spot. This amazes me. She has a spot on her cabinets, and she keeps track of all the kids' activities and what's happening on those days, and they move it on Velcro. She's the one who had the commitment ceremony, so she's got all of them. And then she's got a big Post-it note with her students' names, handwritten, and why they are so valued in her class. It's amazing, it's a feel-good thing, but she gets stuff done. It's not all hearts and rainbows. She gets stuff done. So congratulations to you. Good job. And in previous presentations, people have talked about alumni, so I want to share with you, we have started an alumni spotlight on our website. So we have highlighted Isaiah Lewis, who has come back and he said, you know what, I wanted to leave every year. It was really hard. But he said it's the reason it built so many of my strengths, and I really appreciate my education. And he comes back every year and he gives a scholarship. He works with our district to do that, and he flies and physically hands it to one of our seniors on the stage. And so we've highlighted him. And then Erica is one of our 2024 graduates. And we are looking for more alumni who have inspirational stories as well. And then finally, down our hall, if you walk down our hall, we post the class, post their pictures, and now we will go ahead and fill their stickers of what schools they are beginning to select. And there's our leadership class. So at this time, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Vicki. Let's give her applause for her presentation. I'm a little bit distracted today, so did we miss Mr. O'Meara for the English teacher?
He had a video, and the video was well.
Yep, got it. Okay, fellow board members, any questions, comments?
Yeah, President Sun. Well, I first want to say, you know, I think the strategic pillar always to creating a positive environment is culture. And within culture, there's always celebration, and you have tons of celebration, and I love it. And I have to say that, you know, the UH students work really hard, and I say that because my sister's an alumni of UH, and I saw how hard she worked, and you're right, she wanted to drop out every year, but she didn't. She stayed focused, and I think that builds the character that a lot of successful professions need. So thank you so much, and your teams.
Member Del Blasio, Member Chapman, if you guys are still with us, any comments, questions? They left us.
Yeah, members of the this was an incredible presentation. Thank you for sharing all the great things going on at University High. I appreciate seeing the engagement opportunities that you have with current and future students, parents, the school, the elementary schools. I like the persistency rating that's included in there, testament to not only the students, but the incredible work of the staff at University High. Also want to congratulate again our students and staff members of the year, our exceptional representatives of University High and certainly our district. And also want to thank and congratulate any parents and family members of our students and staff that are celebrating with you. We appreciate your support, and thank you again, Ms. Landis and University High.
Thank you.
President Sun, if I may?
Proceed.
Thank you. Well, wonderful presentation, Ms. Landis. I always look forward to seeing the great things that UH is doing, and I realize that it cannot be done without your amazing administration team who holds the fort down day in and day out. I am a proud parent of 2 UH graduates, and so I can tell you that to Mr. Miguel Ortega's Romero's point, it does build character. It is tough. There are days where you are their best friend and you need to walk them through a crisis and make sure that they're ready to go the next day. But at the end of the day, it is completely worth the well-rounded education that they get. The way I look at it is it's like having a private school opportunity within a public school because of the class sizes and how hard the teachers work with our students. And so that can't be done in a vacuum. I know that it takes a whole team effort. So I commend you and your entire team and staff for the hard work that they do for our students and getting them across the finish line and on to the great things that they're going to do with their lives. To Rebecca Moreno Grijalva and Brian Vega Manes, muchas felicidades, congratulations. It is so awesome to see the great things that you are involved in, the great things that you are working on. And I congratulate you, and I look forward to seeing what schools you guys, what schools you pick, because schools will be definitely coming after you, so pick wisely. To our staff of the year, Ms. Tellis and Ms. Wright, thank you so much for choosing the Tolleson Union High School District. It goes without saying that the nurse is critical to our schools, making sure that safety is at the core of our schools. As a parent of asthmatics, I know that my kids circled through your office probably regularly. So thank you again, Mrs. Landis, to the staff of the year. Thank you for picking us, and to the students, thank you so much.
Vicki, again, thank you for your amazing presentation. Just to highlight some of the great information you shared with us. To be in the top 10 school of the state, that in itself is extraordinary. And the fact that you're competing in the sharp waters of charter schools of 8, and then to be the only Title I school, that is phenomenal. You have proven that the least of our community members deserve quality, free educations, and the opportunities that you provide at University High is amazing. I also want to give a shout out to the culinary team for their wins. My son personally really enjoyed that program. It was something that he looked forward to. The Robo Crew, which I didn't even know existed, the drones. Again, congratulations to those students. I know they're not with us tonight, and the scholarship of 2,000, although that doesn't sound a lot, but compared to what is, required to have that education in a 4-year or 2 years, that can make or break a semester. The speech competition, the Olympiads, I personally attended and participated in the Olympiad program when I was in high school. The fact that you survived all these decades, one decade, and the pride that I see in your slide is not lost on us. And for those students from University High that's with us, tonight, please stand, as well as staffs and teachers of the year. Please stand, and let's give them one last round of applause.
We do have some pardons, yes, for you. Congratulations, culinary. This is actually from culinary. Oh my goodness. As well as kids worked on and thank you to whoever that was that yelled to me and whispered to me loudly, appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks again. Okay, so let's see. Next on the agenda will be no break. We are took one. So with that said, let's move on to the information discussion item. Presentation discussion of the Auditor General Classroom Spending Report. Superintendent Guys, please take it away.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, we have our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ken Hicks, available to talk to us about the Auditor General's report.
Good evening. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Kayes, colleagues, and community members. Thank you very much for letting me provide a brief report on the Auditor General's Dollar in the Classroom Spending Report. I'll quickly go through a little bit of history, some of the numbers, go through a few of the sections, and then ask for any questions or comments. So we'll start with a little bit of the history. This obviously a lot of people know, but when Prop 301 was passed 24 years, 25 years ago, in it also had a requirement that the Auditor General do a dollars in the classroom analysis and publish their reports. Per the Auditor General, they don't believe that that edict included charter schools, and so it really just focuses on school districts. It does evolve every year. If you look at the very beginning, it kind of is very limited and has evolved over the years to get into more dynamic and more different focuses. There are always changes every year, so some would say significant. I wouldn't. I don't really put a lot of stock into this report at all in that sense, because we make a lot of decisions what's best for our organization, not looking at comparisons to the state in a lot of that sense, but it does change every year. Just quickly, I'll look at just a 5-year summary of what our dollars, the percentage of where all of our dollars, and it's, although I'm saying all of our dollars, it's not 100% of all of them. Not everything is included. There are some funds that categorically are not included, and in this, also in these numbers, capital funding is not included in these numbers. So you can see us hovering roughly fairly stable throughout the 5 years in all the categories, going up and down during because of various little inputs that are changing or the overall total changing and impacting it. Nothing was surprising. A lot of this, when presenting that annual financial report, kind of give you a little preview of some of what the numbers are. It doesn't change from when that happens. Maybe a 0.1% here or there, because when we submit our AFR, we submit our general ledger. The Auditor General will go through it, and if there's deemed to be some misappropriation or misallocations or miscodings, they will then make the adjustment, sometimes without telling us that they made the adjustment for the report, even leaving our AFR where it is. Our percent of money that goes directly into the classroom into Function 1000 is the 52.3, so that did drop a little bit over last year. And this is a comparison of all the function codes, so the 1000, student support, instructional support. We really look at that now. That has changed over the last 4 years to talk about classroom support, so that was a term that we've now changed into, and then all the other things, the administrative, plan operations, food service, and transportation. In comparison, we also provide just a little bit of an update of what that dollar per student is for the district, and then you can see compared to statewide calculations. Nothing too alarming. A lot of this is just simple, take the number of students divided by the total amount spent to get the dollar amount, and then we just have a little bit of fluctuations. But you can see, some would say because of our high salaries and all of our support that we're funded at a higher level than almost everybody. You can see total operational against the state, we're less than the state average. Now we do have a higher than the state average on the capital funding, so in the middle there you see total operational. Everything above that is kind of what we'd say those M&O costs, or that big driver. Below that, those are the capital, where they bring that back into the report. They do look at a few areas that they focus on, and they'll take administration. Administration does not mean administrators. It means anything that's in the front office of a school, and pretty much everybody that's at a district office. And they'll take that amount, divide it by our student count, and then get some dollars per student, and do a comparison. You can see the district, we're at 1,400, the peer average 1,100, and the state average at 1,200. So they would categorize that in their category, and how they analyze the report. They would categorize that as very high and comparable. We have been giving high salary increases, so a lot of our areas are high. Another part of the report is to focus on what the teacher salaries are. And so just a quick little slide that you can see that statewide, the teacher salaries continue to go up from 2017 looking up until 2014. And then this is a comparison. The solid line going across is the state average, and we are the lavender colored bar. It is composed of basically mainly our M&O funds and then the classroom site fund. So they want to see how much of the classroom site fund is supporting those large increases, or those increases. And you can see that, you know, back in 2017, we were below the state average, and now if you look at us, we're almost $20,000 above the state average. So it's been a lot of work to pay our teachers as much as possible. Some of us say adequate amount, and we're doing our best to support our teachers in that sense. And the report does have some other things on student achievement and everything. Since I'm the money person, I didn't really focus on student achievement. The whole report itself is on the Auditor General website, so if you wanted to look at the full report at any district, you would be able to go to the Auditor General website for more information. I will stand for any questions.
Thank you, Ken. Members, questions, comments?
President Sun?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the presentation. I first want to, bring up the point earlier. There was a comment made about the current administration's continuous dismantle of the Department of Education. And I just have a question. Is there any way that impacts, the school district specifically? And then if it does, is there a plan in place on how we can reallocate some of these funds?
Madam President, members of the board, that is a very good question. Pretty much every district is talking about that. We get updates from lobbyists and legislative support staff, maybe not legislative support staff, but some support staff there. We're talking a lot about it. We don't know exactly what it means. When we get updates and say that there's a dismantling, we do get other updates that are saying certain funds will continue living in other departments at the federal government. A lot of what they do is pass through money, so they will take the money, send it to the state. The state is required to make sure the criteria is meeting and holding the districts accountable to make sure that we're spending it properly. Not really done at the federal level. The feds would then be auditing the states to make sure they're implementing it right. So from a lot of the funds that I've noticed, it's just going to be parsed out and going to other places. Obviously, anything past 27, nobody's talking about anything can happen from funding. So, and we've had some Title I funding and some other entitlement funds that have been declining. We've been dealing with that. And so, yes, we talk about this a lot. We talk about just our increases in raises that we give that put a lot of external pressure on our federal programs and our grants. And so we are constantly looking and talking about how and what we do as more information become available. But right now, there's not a lot of solid information. It's really just speculation. And we talk about all that speculation and try to be available to pivot at any time.
Thank you.
Any other comments, members? Ken, I just want to thank you for this presentation. Just a comment. I know that as a district, we are the forerunners in salary, teacher salaries, which I personally am very, very proud of it. With this board is something that we wholeheartedly support moving forward. We did have a question regarding the influence, the influx, or the unpredictable flux coming from the federal. But could you share with us the percentage of that funding that we currently take from the federal?
Madam President, members of the board, go off the top of my head, roughly around 14% of all of our total funds is federal funded. Could be 12. Apologize if I'm a little off.
Well, the numbers I have is less than 9%.
Okay.
And then 46 is local, and another 40-something similar that is from the state M&O. Is that correct?
Madam President, members of the board, that sounds a little more correct when you give me the local and the state. And I would also say of that 9%, as I was mentioning, some of those entitlement funds, the IDA funds, the National School Lunch Program, the bulk of those federal funds, I believe are going to, if some of the speculation, the wild speculation of some dismantling or shutting down would be transferred to other departments. Could there be some cuts? Maybe, but I have not heard of any major cuts. So the bulk of our funding in that would still stay intact. But really, if I could just elaborate a little bit more, what some of the worry is the compliance, the submission, changing and disrupting the whole system that could jump from one agency to another agency that may have different rules and how to apply, could create a lot of worry and concern. And as you know, at the back of the house, we're compliance driven and we worry about that. And so that creates a lot of stress and anxiety of how we're going to manage and what are we going to do and how do we still go through an AZGME to apply for some of these and how we're going to make sure that we're in compliance and continue to fund.
So compared to 200, over 200 school districts, what will be our financial stress test on the scale of 1 to 5, 5 being good?
Madam President, members of the board, 5 being we're in a good position, or we're in 5. We're very strong with a lot of our balances. Superintendent Kayes was in my position before we started building up some reserves to cover us against maybe an ADL possible issue, which really just insulates us against some of the federal funds. And so we're at the forefront of a lot of these to be out in front and give us the cushion and ability to make any changes or adjustments prior to it having a devastating effect.
And moving forward, the wishes of the board that we want to continue to be competitive with salary pay, ultimately to lead to student outcomes, and that we don't mind putting in the gas money up front.
Madam President, members of the board, I don't think we'd have to give another raise for years and we would still be competitive with teacher pay. We are out in front on a lot of it, and it's the right thing to do, and we'll continue to do it.
And we can always set the bar and look at the national level. All right, Ken, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So now I'd like to maybe take a 5-minute break, so we will reconvene then. Thank you.
Benefits of unified sports are social participation and the exposure to new activities, things that they might not have had otherwise had opportunities to participate in.
When we build our equipment and our kids who can't typically participate are able to do something independently, the joy that they get from doing that activity for the first time is incredible.
I didn't really like playing in front of people in the beginning because I thought I wasn't good at it. And then once I got used to playing in front of people, I got a little bit out of my shell, and now I'm comfortable playing with other people.
I learned that I need to be confident.
Oh, you want to be more confident?
Yeah.
You learn to be more confident?
Special Olympics has had such an impact on the Arizona community as a whole because we are really focused on community for all. It doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in, what is your disability. We are really here for everybody, making life happen for everybody, making fun happen for everybody, because sports are fun.
We've been playing like different kind of sports like volleyball, and we played this one game. It's called that. We wear these like uniforms and stuff like that. Like whoever had the ball is stopped, and we drove it to our teammate. Now we just actually legit play badminton day. We started train super hard that day.
Funnest, most happiest people I've ever seen in my life. It's just every day is just they have that positivity that can spread everywhere, like it's contagious.
Unified sports benefits students with and without disabilities in just so many ways. You see them come into the class at the beginning of the year and they're very shy, not very aware of how to act or behave, and then you just see these relationships blossom and then grow, and they truly do become like a team, and they're super close, super tight, and our students really do show really great examples of this throughout competitions, is really supporting those that do have disabilities and just having those friendships and building that support and having that support for one another.
I really enjoy dancing because I learned that when the first time I danced, I was shy, but then I realized that dancing can be not just about dancing, it can be about making memorable memories.
During these past few months of the year when we started, I feel that the most memorable moment is when we all started playing, not knowing what we were doing, but we still figured it out in front of everyone.
We love everything unified, bringing people together, athletes, partners, giving them that normal experience of a team. And as a district, we came together and said, let's plan these events, district events.
At first, I was coming into it not knowing what to expect. And I feel like that's most cases for like things that you haven't tried before. But I definitely feel that I've grown so much with it. I've learned a lot, and it's something that I want to do more with. Like, I want to be a part of my future.
I think that you can look at the footage of students and see the smiles on their faces and know that what Unified Sports is offering those students in general is a great deal of independence, success, and joy. I think you can look at any single player and be like, this program is making a difference.
I think the partners too, like
For sure.
they get really excited to learn about our switch stuff and all the equipment we use, and then encouraging their athlete to participate. So I think it's a growing and learning opportunity for them that they really enjoy.
Join it, because it's something where you're gonna not only learn how to play a sport, but you're gonna learn social skills with different people, knowing that when we go out into the real world, it's not just gonna be us, it's gonna be other people. And they're no different than us, but it's just showing that we're gonna have that type of connection with special education than just gen ed kids.
I don't know, I just think Unified is one of the greatest programs that high schools can offer, and I hope that we are able to have more and more Unified classes that not just cater to Unified Sports, but then cater to all different opportunities and interests. So hopefully our program just continues to grow.
Why settle for a school that only offers you one thing when you can have a school that offers you everything? Does your school have a cafeteria like this? Or a performing arts center like this? Or a football field like this? Or an innovation center like this? Forward march. Or a path to the military like this? Or a career and technical education program like this? Or will their digital media program take you here, or here, or here? Or a media center like this? You can find all this and more at the Tolleson Union High School District. Enroll now.
name is Ashley Pollock, and I am a math teacher at Tolleson Union High School. I'm here to talk about an important opportunity coming up, the ACT exam on October 22nd. The ACT is the key exam to determining how prepared you are for college, but also opens doors to scholarships and any other financial options. The ACT will also help you jumpstart any current plans you may have for the future, whether that's college, starting a career, or any other potential options. The ACT will also help you better prepare for your final attempt happening in March this year. But it's not just about you. Your performance also benefits our school and our entire district. When you perform well on the ACT, it shows how committed we are to academic excellence. It also leads to more opportunities and resources to all of us. So I encourage you to try your best, aim for proficiency, and show what you are capable of. Remember, if you are in need of any help, talk to a teacher or a counselor for tutoring or practice test opportunities. We all support you, and we want you to try your best.
Now to item FG, approval of the consent agenda. It is recommended that the governing board approve the consent agenda with the exception of consent agenda number 7, approval of the data sharing agreement with the Teach for America. We will be tabling that. So if I can have a motion.
So moved.
I second. Roll call, please.
Dr. Linda Naheda? Yeah, again, I'm being asked to vote on decisions that are being made without all the information that we have requested. In the words, and I'm not quoting, but in the words of the Vice President, if we are signing contracts and approving, hiring, and firing, we have the right to know why we are not renewing staff or why we are letting go of staff in a confidential matter. And so for that, because that is not being transparent and it's not being shared, I vote no.
Mr. Del Palacio?
Yeah.
Mr. Ortega Romero?
Abstain?
Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
And Ms. Sun?
Yes. And now on to item letter H, action discussion.